Hey, what's up everybody? It's Dr. Mike again. Wanted to do a really quick video to explain what we're doing in our office with the Lipo Melt machine and how we can help people decrease a lot of the fat deposits and all of the other stuff that people typically struggle with. So again, we're gonna go to the whiteboard and I'm gonna explain this all to you. So here we go. All right, so just a few weeks ago, we got this new device in our office, and it's called the Lipo Melt. And basically, it's using light technology to actually decrease fat cell size. I know it sounds really weird, but it's a really interesting process. So I'm going to walk you guys through exactly what it's doing and how we can actually melt the fat away. Okay, so it's a thing called Lipo Melt, and if you guys look through some of the other videos on our page, you're going to actually see the device, and you're going to see a whole bunch of these LEDs shining upon these wraps that we wrap around your body, and it will actually help decrease the fat cell size. So here's the brief history of this whole thing called lipoplasty, or what we commonly know as liposuction. It was developed in the 1920s in France. Well, the problem with it was that the doctor developed this, his patient got gangrene and died. So they kind of went away from using that technique because, you know, patients were dying. You know, you don't want to be dying. So so in the 1970s, they kind of improved the procedure, and they started to use that lipoplasty along with a suction technique so that I could actually suck the fat cells out, and this became a lot popular service. You know, you see a lot of people going in for liposuction. You get the fat cells removed and all this kind of stuff. But we know that that's not a lasting thing, and it's also very invasive. You know, who wants to get gangrene and die from a cosmetic procedure? So in the 1990s, what they started doing was they started to look at other ways that they could make this whole procedure a little bit more effective. So what this doc did was they started to expose patients to light, specifically in the mid 600 nanometer light frequencies, and or light wavelength, I should say. 600 nanometer is like 635, 640 nanometers, and what they found was that it was easier to perform this procedure. They found that when they went in after the patient got exposed to this light, it was as if the fat was melted. Okay, so they then looked at, well, what was making this happen? And what they found was that light being emitted at the wavelength of 635 nanometers causes these fat cells to actually open up. So what does this all mean to you? Well, using the Lipo Melt machine, what we're doing is, here's a fat cell, by the way. This is a fat cell. It has all the contents in it, which are called triglycerides, and triglycerides contains fatty acids, glycerol, and water. When we're emitting this light from the Lipo Melt machine, it's causing these fat cells to actually open up, right? Like I said right there. These fat cells will open up, and there's this whole complicated biochemical cascade that I'm not going to bore you guys with. But basically, this specific light will actually cause these cells to open up, and the fat cells will then release this content here of fatty acids, glycerol, and water into the outside of the cell, which is called the interstitial fluid, which will then get into the lymphatic system. Now at this time, though, by the way, you're releasing acidity into the system, which is not a good thing for your body. So your pH will temporarily drop. This is why when we're doing this program, we recommend having some type of acid buffer, okay? So we have this in our office to help buffer out that fatty acid dumping into the lymphatic system. Now the lymphatic system will then take all of this content and deliver it to the liver and the kidneys. And the liver will then go through two different phases to help those toxins get out of your body. There's a phase 1 and phase 2. It's basically making things that are toxic less toxic and being able to get out of the body. So now, as you're doing the Lipo Melt procedures, we also recommend going on some type of liver support and being very well hydrated. So this is one of the things that we give our patients as well when they're going through that. And then finally, after it goes through and it's non-toxic anymore, the body will excrete it. Now, there's a couple ways your body's excreting this stuff, and it's either through the urine or through your poop matter. All right, you're pooping it out into the toilet. And this is also dependent upon movement. So when you're going through the Lipo Melt procedures, we do recommend walking, light exercise, and all of this stuff that will get the lymphatics flowing all the way out to be excreted. So let me review this one more time, how it works. You come in, you lie down, we shine the light on you, we wrap your body, and the light will then cause the fat cells to release its contents. It will go into the lymphatic systems. The lymphatics will then deliver to the liver and kidneys, and the body will excrete it out. Now, about 90 to 95% of the patients will get noticeable results upon their first visit. Okay? The other 10 to 5%, if they don't get noticeable results, it's usually because there's an underlying health condition that's really putting a damper upon this procedure. Mainly some type of hormonal issues, which we deal with a lot in our office: thyroid, adrenals, another thing called mitochondriopathy. All this stuff will hinder. Also, if this is dependent upon what you're eating. You can't just look at this procedure and say, well, I can lead a unhealthy lifestyle. I can eat fast food every single day and not feel any type of effect upon my weight and all that stuff. So we do recommend lifestyle changes over the course of this. Now, we do recommend you, when you're doing this, we recommend you have your sessions be between 2 to 3 days apart, no less than 2 days and no more than about 3 days. So anywhere between 2 to 3 days, you're going to be doing your sessions, and for the average person, we're looking at anywhere between 10 to 12 sessions. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking prices and all this kind of stuff, and what we're going to discuss is, well, let's look at the price of liposuction. Okay, liposuction in and of itself, I know some procedures anywhere between $9,000 to $15,000. Now we're not gonna be doing any type of liposuction, and it's non-invasive, but it is very effective. So for most places are actually charging upwards of just one area, upwards of about $175 to $250 per session. Okay. We're offering for this month in October, we're offering some pretty amazing deals. So I can't tell you guys the direct price because we would get in trouble from the manufacturer. But if you call our office, 949-679-7676, 949-679-7676, we got some amazing offers on your introduction session. And if you plan to doing these 10 to 12 sessions, if you do plan to do those, which we highly recommend, we do have amazing discounts on that. That is way less than the $175 to $250 range per session, per region, by the way. There are some people that do upwards of about 2 to 4 different regions. So if you take 175 per region, you multiply that by 4, you're looking at upwards of about $500 to $700 per session if you're doing multiple regions. But we got an amazing special going on for this month. So give our office a call, again, 949-679-7676, and we can get this into your life. All right, this is Dr. Mike, again, coming from Velocity Wellness Center, velocitywellness.com. Hope to see you guys in the office so we can help you guys melt the fat away.